What you doing, puppy? Huh? What you doing? All right, friends and family. This is my shop. We got your front door here. Got your sink. The urinal. We got internet. We got an access point over there, up there. We got another line coming down for the TV that's going to be coming out here. This truck right here is my grandpa's. Well, I guess now it's mine. So it's been sitting for a while out at our property. We had 14 acres down in Festus that we just recently sold, and we had to move all the vehicles. So we got this one back. I know it's got some issues that we'll go through and we'll get it going again, but it's really clean, low miles, needs some work, definitely a wash in case you can't see. But that's project number one. We got some work over here. So I cleaned this little area up because at our property in Festus, we also have a shipping container, and there's a lot of stuff in there that will be coming here. So that's what that's for. So we're big fans of Milwaukee. Gotta have good lights. Don't want to be scared of the dark. We got one cradle here for a Caprice, rear cradle. This is for my brother-in-law's car. You'll see that. We did a bunch of work on that. It's a pretty fun little car now. This is another rear cradle for another Caprice, and that's for my father-in-law. Some of these parts are going to go in that cradle, and this is going to get some other stuff, and we're going to do some other suspension work and brakes and exhaust, I think is what else he wants to do for that. But they bought a low miles one. It only had like 40-something thousand miles on it. So that'll be in the future. You can see we got a list here. So Chris's Caprice, Don's Caprice, my friend Jake has a Sierra sitting outside that I'll show you later. Needs a tranny. He smoked it so bad that it's cheaper just to get a whole new tranny rather than try to rebuild the one because it needs a pump and a bunch of other stuff. We got my dad's FJ, which is outside. Lift, rock sliders, rear bumper, and a locker. All that stuff. I already got the front bumper on. It was a DIY kit. I welded it up. So these are the sliders. And then under all this burnable, except for that styrofoam there, you can see the rear bumper and the rest of the lift kit parts are right there. And then this is stuff from the Sierra here, drive shafts and exhaust and whatnot. There's the old bumper to the FJ. What else we got here? There's Jake's transfer case. So you can kind of see what the fluid maybe looked like. It's pretty yucky. Looks like diesel oil, kind of. Should be a clear reddish. But you can see Jake lives in the country. Oh, and this finger thing here, that looks like a cyst. It's kind of deforming my fingernail, so I think I need to go get that looked at because it has not gotten any better. This finger got smashed in a doorway when I was in 2nd grade. Never had any problems until the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and that cyst, I guess, just started growing and messing with my fingernail. It's really great for picking boogies. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, got some toolboxes here. I like to stay pretty organized, in case you can't tell. You know, to some that may not look organized as far as all this goes, but I mean, I know when something's not there, and I kind of freak out a little bit. You can see I thought I lost something, went and bought a new one, and I found it sitting in the middle of the driveway, luckily. So sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. But I did all the wiring in here myself. You know, you can see we got outlets on every pole. Got a welder there, a welder there, and then one more by the doors. Fire extinguisher on the front and the back wall. And then got a real nice 10,000 pound 2-post lift here. And I believe that's a 9,000 pound 4-post, both from Derek Weaver Lifts, which you can see right there. It was a joy to unload these from the street and bring them all the way back here. But we got them set up. No major problems, just a little sketchy. You know, this one tipped over going from the tractor trailer into my truck bed, and then this one almost tipped the skid steer over a couple times as I tried to drag it out of the truck and set it down. But these 3 cars here are the reason that I have 2 very nice lifts. These are my uncle's cars. Good old Uncle Jay. He's been in the cars for a while, restored quite a few. We got 70 Lincoln Continental, Ford LTD, convertible coupe, and then Colony Park wagon. That is pretty. It's pretty pretty. Yeah, we'll say that. I'm a big wagon guy. In the back behind the shop, which I'll show you again later, I got a Volvo wagon, which I want to make into a race car if time and energy and efforts allow. And then we've got a Jeep Cherokee that is, of course, a shit box. But my goodness, it is fun. You can just beat on that thing and drive it home. And I'd like to make that a little bit more serious. Hopefully this Ford here will take place of my daily driver. It's just it'll be an upgrade from what I drive now. Thanks to Tim Brewski for hooking me up with the Corolla, but I have since brought it to its deathbed, unfortunately. Over here, we got metalworking stuff, just a bunch of stuff I've been moving again. Pile it up here, move that pile over to there. Here's the paint that I used on Dad's bumper and the rock rails. So these were from Don's Caprice, these rec ports here. They got toasted. Relay went out on the cooling fans, and that was all she wrote. And that was right after the first rebuild. So they started working on new valve seats. So for those of you that don't know, oh, she's going crazy. This is your valve seat. And you see how this one's all square because this is brand new. This is aluminum. This part here, this ring, is a hard steel because it lasts longer because it has to take the abuse of that valve closing. And see these springs, spring pressure. So anyway, they tried to cut these, and the heads they got way too hot. They got warped, and they're recoverable, but not for a reasonable price. You can see the difference. These are the intake ports. This is a cathedral port. This is a rec port. So this one will flow more at a higher RPM. This one will flow more at a lower RPM, mainly due to speed, velocity at which the air can get into the cylinder. So kind of think of it as, you know, if you had a leaf blower with a giant hole on it, it's just going to kind of blow the air everywhere. Where when you have a more like a shaped nozzle, it's able to direct that force a little quicker and a little more precise until you get up to a certain amount of flow, and then this will just far outflow it. More air, more gas, more power. But this set of heads also had a similar overheating issue, and it dropped a valve seat, which you can see. I just pulled this one out. It was just kind of dangling there, so I popped the valve out and took it out because I was curious. But we got that customer all fixed up, and he's on his way. Sold that vehicle, actually. He said he was really happy with it. Ran great. And then there's a water pump from our old 7.3 turd, which I'll go out and show you that a little bit later when it's daylight out. We got the torch that I rarely ever use, thank goodness, but it's probably going to get used more often. We got Everlast multi-process machine. It's great welder. I'm pretty happy with it. We got the Hobart stick down there. We got some cheap Chinesium plasma cutter, which I made some shooting targets with, and we've used it here and there. We actually cut this tabletop here. Used to be like 10 feet long, and we used it. I think this was the first cut we made on it, and you know, it's pretty thick, so that was about all that plasma cutter is good for there. But for the price we paid for it, can't beat it. And when I say we, I'm talking about my brother-in-law. Those are his heads on the right. It's his cradle and engine parts over there. We got a whole section of stuff from him, and he's been a good resource for electrical knowledge and having the parts that I don't have. We complement each other well. We have quite a bit of overlap in tools and things. Luckily, we're both Milwaukee guys, but it's a pretty balanced friendship, I would say. You know, he's got all this real nice electrical stuff, all the heat shrink ends, marine grade. He bought all the LS tools that we need when he started going through all his stuff. So we're a good team. Between the two of us, we can get anything done. We just bought a 3D printer as a fun toy, so we're looking forward to that. We'll go over here to, I call this Don's cart right now, or the LS cart. We've got some AC stuff for when we recharged his system. We got control arms for his Caprice in these boxes. We replaced the piston in his, as well as all the bearings and everything, because there you go, you can see. Put a little smiley, unless you're a pessimist, and then it's a frowny. But yeah. We'll do something cool with that. I got a camshaft over there I want to make something with as well. What's over here, pup? This ball is from Noah Smith, who is a pretty tough kid. Ran a half marathon with no training with his dad. So me and his dad Caleb run a lot, and actually I got a gift for them that I gotta make. But oh, you want the ball? So this table here, it's got a bunch of artwork and stuff on it, and they moved. Unfortunately, me and Caleb have probably put in a good couple 100 miles together trail running, and they came over before they moved to get a hitch put on their Kia Niro. Get the ball. Get the ball. Oh, you're a smart girl. So, well, not that smart. So I put a hitch on there, and they came over. I barbecued some dinner. I don't think their kids had steak, or one of them hasn't had steak. I think it was Harlow, but anyway. So I'm going to make them something out of their table. And when they were here, Noah couldn't find his ball, and it was underneath, name something in the shop. It was underneath something, and I ended up finding it. And before I found it, we sent them a, hey, you know, you moved all the way down to Texas, which they didn't. They ended up moving to Texas for like 3 weeks, and then they found a good, good family that was moving to North Carolina or living in North Carolina and knew somewhere they could stay there. So they moved from St. Louis to Texas all the way to North Carolina, all within like 2 months. Just a great family. And I can't wait to, obviously right now I'm making the best use out of the table that I can, but hopefully for Christmas here, it's December 7th. Hopefully I can get that built and send it to them, or it might be too big to send. I don't know, but we'll see what I come up with. But yeah, that's why that ball's still here. So anyway, I get distracted very easily. We sent him a care package, and I was asking him, when he was visiting, like, what is Harlow like? He's like, she's really into the, like little bags. She's, I don't know how old she is, 6 maybe. And I knew from running, you have some time to talk when you go and do, a half marathon every weekend with somebody. So I got to know him pretty good, and we talked about everything. And he's like, yeah, she likes bags, these bags, but like, I just don't want to get her a big one because then you got to fill it up with stuff. So we got her a small bag, and I got Noah a new ball because I knew his was here somewhere. And I got him one that, since I knew they were going to be in an apartment, I got him one that was foam, so it wouldn't be loud. Where's the ball? Get the ball. And this dog is my shop dog. She's Indy. You'll be safe with this. The other dog, he would pop it in 3 seconds. You sit. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, good catch. Out. Sit. Sit. Down. Down. Yes. Bow. Bow. Good girl. My wife was a dog trainer, so we know how to train dogs. It takes a lot of effort and perseverance. Out. Sit. Good girl. Sit. Sit. Free. Get it. Good girl. So the shop here is 32 feet deep this way by 56 feet long ways. These doors are two 12 by 12 doors. I don't have openers on them yet. I don't know if I ever really need openers. I'm not really a lazy guy who wants to use openers, but I do understand the convenience and the luxury of having an opener. They are quite expensive for the jack shaft openers, but something to look into. Still need gutters around the shop. There's some junk that I don't really like how they did, but I don't really have a say in it anymore at this point. I wish the whole building was about 1.5 feet lower, which is what I had envisioned. But apparently when they dug the foundation, they didn't want to dig it that deep. I guess because they were lazy. I'll show you the outside tomorrow, but I filmed some stuff just to kind of give you an idea of where I'm at in my life, what my life is like. I'll show you some, or I will have shown you some, clips, previews, working out. Big into working out, big into food. I like eating a lot. So those two things luckily go hand in hand. A lot of people, they just, they say, well, I'm going to be really strict on my diet so I don't have to work out. Well, I'm really strict on my working out so I don't really have to worry about my diet. And I don't eat bad food. I don't eat sugar. I don't drink soda. I don't drink beer. Like, I eat pretty healthy, but when I eat, I eat. I usually eat once or twice a day, sometimes 3 if I have smaller meals or I'm rushed and I don't get to sit down as long as I'd like. But one of my favorite things is sitting down watching my favorite YouTube channels and just chowing down on some good old beef and oatmeal. Not at the same time. Usually it's the salty, savory beef, and then I use stevia sweetener in my oatmeal with a little bit of cinnamon and some almond milk. But yep. Where's your ball? Get it? Get it? Good girl. Sit. Stand. No, stand. Yes. Easy, easy. All right, we'll see you in the next one.